That was weird. Sorry, guys. Starting the video here. Jumping into, and I just accidentally totally scrapped the piece that I meant to click because scrap happens to be the same command as start my stream. So, that was an oops. There we are. So I'm on creative. Wanted to do a cover of light versus heavy armor options. Depending on what tree you want to go to, light armor will increase your crafting perks for armored up, as well as heavy armor. So, a lot of times if you're running a strength build, is it better to run heavy armor? It depends on what you're trying to do. So, the top tier, if you dump all the points in here, reduces your heavy armor movement and stamina penalty by 25% and increase your durability by 200%. So let's take a quick walkthrough. We have 3 tiers of light armor and we have 3 tiers of heavy armor. So you've got your padded, your leather, and your military. And then for heavy, you've got your scrap armor, your iron, and your steel. Most people naturally are going to think steel armor is going to be your best, so we're going to start there and work backwards. Heavy armor rating, 13 points of armor. Stamina decrease per second, 0.9. So you're losing basically 1 point of stamina per second as a base. Mobility, neg 6%. You are moving slower. Noise increase, 20%. So, this is scaling per piece. There's a huge consideration there. So you get your helmet, your chest piece, your gloves, your legs, and your boots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and your helmet makes 5 pieces. So now you're looking, if you're running a full set of steel gear, you're looking at neg 5 points of stamina per second. Mobility is going to be neg 30%. Noise increase of 100%. And then your armor rating, 13 by 5, 65 points of armor. That's some serious stamina reduction and mobility decreases. There are mods to compensate for that, so that's going to be our next thing here. If we jump into the mods. So you can get, these are your armor upgrade mods, so this is your top tier, so this is a plus 2 points of armor. On your tier 6s, you gain 4 modifier slots. So technically you could put some bonus armor on. This is the +1 version. These are your customized fitting mods. So this gains you a 0.05% stamina per second and a +3 on mobility. This decreases your noise by 8%. There's the lower tier. The lower tier is 0.02 plus 2%. This is the higher tier. So if we grab one of these and we grab the one that decreases our noise, those are our main 2 penalties: stamina per second, mobility, and noise increase. So if we go in here, we modify this. Now your stamina per second is at neg 8.5. 0.85. I can talk. Mobility's down to neg 3, and noise increases down to 12%. So if you were to do this across all 5 pieces, now your mobility's down 15%, and your stamina is still not great. Your noise increase is down 8% per, so pretty sizable deductions on those. Now these will apply to any of the armors. So if we take these back off, the stamina, as we saw, it only went down by 0.5, 0.05. So it's not a huge deduction, even with the rest of the perks. Now, if we go through and this will take a second here. I'll buy all these really quick. If we take all of our perks into heavy armor, well, now what's it look like? I believe you actually have to wear it to get the alteration here, so. Still saying the same. I wonder if they changed the way it updates now. It's buggy, because this should be reflecting. Interesting. New glitch. Unfortunately, I won't be able to demo this to the degree I want because something's buggy in their command sequences. So this is just reflecting the armor upgrades, but when we actually click on it while it's on, it's not reflecting that at all. What should be showing up is the heavy armor movement penalty and stamina penalty by 25%. And it is not reflecting. So, one more bug to add to the list. Attributes too low. Oh, that could be part of it too. We have a concussion, so our attributes are lowered right now. So let's grab a painkiller and get rid of that and see if it fixes the problem. Nope, still not reflecting correctly. So mobility should be decreased by another 25%. Stamina. Let's go back in here really quick. And the stamina penalty by 25%. So, with that being said, this is going to be essentially at 2 points. I mean, 2 points is 30%, but let's just say 2.2 because it's somewhere right in there. Points of mobility. So now over 5 pieces, you're only looking at 11, 12% slow. And your stamina per second is about 0.7 per piece. So at that point, by 5, you're looking at 3.5 points of stamina per second you're losing out on. So that is your top tier on your steel. Now, as we look, I will take these back off really quick. As we look at the differences between these and say, so the default between the iron legs and the steel legs is the same penalties. The armor rating is just higher and the durability is higher on your steel versus your iron. And the same correspondence from your iron to your scrap. Same setup. So, jumping... Oop, I'm going to get kicked out of the trader here in a minute. Technically, your lowest tier is your padded. No, this has no stamina penalty, no mobility penalty, and no noise increase. Armor crit resist at 4 points. Your armor crit resist is at 6 points. Like, your absorption is a lot less. Going up to your light armor. Armor goes up, resistance goes up, you start taking stam penalties, mobility penalties, 10% noise increase. Up to your military, which if you look at your penalties, stamina neg 0.56, neg 4, and 10% is exactly the same. If you have the option between leather and military, go with military. Higher crit resistance, better durability. So if we take a look at the same mod list, right now, We're at neg 0.56, neg 4% mobility, and a 10% noise increase. Throw this on, throw this on. Now we're only looking at a 2% noise increase, 2 points of mobility, and a half point of stamina per second. We'll multiply all of this by 5. We're looking at 2.5 points of stamina versus 3 point something. I want to say it was 3.5. We're looking at a 10% mobility versus 11% mobility. The biggest one is the noise, because now we're only looking at 10%. I think we were at like 12 or 18. %, per. So, pretty sizable discrepancies. Military is definitely your top tier light armor. So, I mean, at a full set of military, you're looking at 10% noise increase versus, 60% noise increase. So, that's just kind of a rundown on the tiers. I personally, even though I'm running a brawler, I run the padded because I also spec archery stealth. And this gives me the no noise increase, this extra mobility, and I do a unique high stamina regen build. So, I don't delve into the stamina penalties at all. I prefer to be able to run places and get places. Obviously, there's your pros and cons because, I'm going to get a lot more busted stuff in hand-to-hand combat with my build with padded than I will with my top-tier legs or top-tier steel. But the rest of the trade-offs for me aren't worth it. So once again, it's going to come down to how you spec and how you play. Depending on your builds, I mean, generally the brawler is in the strength fortitude tree, so you'd want to run heavy because you're up getting hit and doing all that. I run a weird set, and that's just not how I run. So, with that being said, that's pretty much the rundown on A to Z on the armor setups in the game, and a couple of the mod setups. You can obviously tinker and, like I say, find a build that works for you and then kind of evaluate your game plan from there. So, that's it for this one. I'll be doing a rundown on the zombie list as well, just to get that kind of general information out as to what you can expect, and then I'd like to delve into some builds and bases in the near future. So, that's it for me. Have a good one.